things that I try and do as I think about my operations, I don't think about how people or consumers approach their perception or expectations related to an insurance transaction. I don't think customers compartmentalize that way. And I think as we think, like we talked about earlier, the digital platform, customers are going to jump from one digital platform to ours, and they're not differentiating that may have been a purchase experience for, say, a retail good, to now they're coming into our platform and they're trying to file a claim that could help them navigate this uncertainty that they've just encountered. I try and put myself in the shoes of the customer, think about how we get our team to pivot, meet their expectations. And one thing that's different for many of the consumers that we engage with is it might be their first time filing a claim. So to be truly customer-centric, we need to think about not just what the customer's asking for from us or expects from us, but what don't they know that they may need for the future? What don't they know that they may need to help them navigate this uncertain event that they've gone through? And how do we offer that to them in a way where it's not confusing, it's simple, and it helps them connect with how is this going to translate to them getting back to living their life, right? So I think that's one of the things that we need to constantly challenge ourselves when it comes to customer centricity is customers may be asking for one thing, but what's something that we can offer them that they didn't know they need and may not have expected through the transaction.
That's really helpful. Yeah. It sounds like you used a bunch of data analytics on that as well to be able to arm that capability, right? So, which is great. Peter, were you going to jump in?
I was. I want to. When I look at customer behavior, especially in this pandemic, where unemployment is at all-time highs, it's coming down, but certainly has been at all-time highs. I look at also the fact that over the last decade, the cost of insurance has gone up at 2x the rate of inflation. So that causes, discretionary income to have to be tapped into. So it becomes a bigger kind of kitchen table budgeting issues and discussion for many families. And so as a result of that, one thing that I've seen from an industry trend perspective is that customer loyalty to individual brands has actually been going down as more customers are shopping around and price becomes a big factor. Since 2012 alone, the rate or the pricing as it relates to individual satisfaction with an insurance purchase has gone up 54%. So that factor, the pricing factor itself. So, what does that mean, right? So people are out there and they're bargain shopping in many ways, right? And so the loyalty factor is going down. So that results in, insurance companies, broadly speaking, having to look at a mandate of, how do I remain competitive in the landscape and in the marketplace, while at the same time really driving strong customer experience. Because, recent studies have shown that, if a customer has had a negative experience with in their interaction, they are 8 times more likely to shop around just off of the experience alone. So then the mandate becomes, how do you remain cost competitive, but also drive really high customer experience? So when I look at that, right, what that translates to for many insurance providers is really accelerating their transformation toward digital channels and leveraging their digital assets, partly because digital assets naturally are a much more cost-effective support model and support options. But beyond that, it's because you got to meet your customers where they're at, right? And so you have people who prefer to engage via voice channels and others that prefer to engage via digital apps. If you look at the insurance industry specifically, 60% of the engagement, the preferred channel engagement, is still voice. So voice is still predominantly the number one engagement. It's followed by email and web forms, and then followed by chat, and then fourth is digital apps. But if you look at those numbers on a trend line, those numbers on the voice side have actually been coming down. So it was 78% 2017, 70% 2018, 60% in 2019, and I envision that the numbers in 2020 will continue that trend. And where that's gone is not in the chat channel. Interestingly enough, that's remained flat. Email and web forms have gone down, but it's almost all increased in the digital app usage space. So I envision that will continue to be a priority for insurance providers, because customers want to have that option to leverage the different channels that are available for the reasons that make sense to them.